January Journal 2021. Log entry day 16. Gratitude. Caffeine! Yay! I woke up at the right time today, and for the first time in years I responded to an alarm clock. Amazing. And yes, I had caffeine, so I'm very happy, I'm stable, I seem to be in the right place. No strange dreams, no jolts and strange shaking after nightmares, nothing like that. I'm fine, and I'm grateful for that. To all the people finding these transmissions and giving some feedback and communicating, thank you so much for being here. It's never taken for granted. I appreciate every single one of you. This is the midpoint of this journal. I had energy and stamina and willpower to do this for half a month, every single day, without failure. Love this. I can do this. I am creating a habit. Now I have to create more habits, but at least one at a time. It's wonderful. I'm very thankful to be able to produce things, hopefully things of value to someone out there. I am very grateful. Thank you to my parents, thank you to my friends, and thank you to all the role models in the writing community. I appreciate you. Now, today's topic. Oof. I was nervous yesterday because I was afraid that maybe my analogy wouldn't make any sense and I was just producing something of not good quality or whatever. If I remembered what I had to talk about today. Disclaimer before I go on with it. This is just my own experience, my own biases, my own misconceptions. I can make mistakes. I can sometimes be misinformed. I am imperfect, and I can correct it when I am wrong. I have no shame in admitting my mistakes, and I have no regret in expressing my mistakes. I am thankful when I am corrected. Again, this is just my own bias, my own experience, and my own potential misconceptions. With that out of the way, my strange experience as an Ownvoices author. For those of you who might stumble upon this and don't know what an Ownvoices author would be, Ownvoices is a term used when an author that belongs to a minority group writes fiction about the same minority group. So me being partially blind, writing about blind and visually impaired characters from all the different kinds of blindness, that would be an Ownvoices author. So yeah, my fiction in its vast majority consists of stories where a blind or visually impaired character has the spotlight. Or if it's a dual POV, sometimes half of the spotlight, as you can see from short stories that I have recently published. Why am I putting disclaimers and things before I talk? Because what I'm going to say is maybe not so nice. And it can totally be mistaken for something that it's not, because people love getting offended these days, and my intention here is never to offend anyone from some other minority that's not necessarily a disabled community, but you know, I'm going to speak. When I started this whole thing with Ownvoices, and I started my writing journey as an Ownvoices author, I did not switch paths. It was there from the go. And I have it from the go because of the impact that other blind characters in media have had in me. Not many, but those very few that I found, it's been huge. From Tove Beifong and Selma Yestkova to recently discovering Marie-Laure Leblanc from All the Light We Cannot See, or Cassie Yates from Dying Thoughts Book 2. I feel understood. I feel acknowledged by some other author that took the time to think of people like me. It gives me this sense of, yes, we are indeed part of humanity. We exist and we can contribute and be a part of the artistic world as an amazing character somehow, instead of just being the blind monster that has to die. So that's why I did it. When I started writing my stories, I wanted to heal myself from a couple of things, and I also wanted to give to the blind and visually impaired community. I wanted to create characters that might represent them or give them a story that would be more relatable to them and the things that we go through as disabled, you know. It's not all rainbows and unicorns, and it's not all just struggles and misery. So I wanted to go there. in many genres. My primary genre is science fiction, but I recently released a thriller noir-ish crime. I don't even know what that is, but like a thriller crime noir story with a blind character. And I am looking to release stories in different genres, horror, maybe contemporary, I don't know, but something interesting for the blind community to be entertained by. So why am I feeling strange about it if that's my intention? Well, that is my intention, but then I am pursuing traditional publishing. I have entered a few mentor-mentee contests. I have tried different things here and there to see how can I improve my craft and how I can get published. I see a lot of nasty shit going on. I see a lot of lip service. I see a lot of virtue signaling. I see a lot of fake people floating around, from aspiring mentors to agents to just rando people over there in the Twitterverse. I see all of it. I see that it's more like a trend chasing thing or a quota to fill. You know, those literary agents that say that they want diversity and then a bunch of us query them. And when I say bunch of us, I mean me and a bunch of other authors that are writing other kinds of minority diversity Ownvoices works. I've seen fellow LGBTQ authors being pushed aside because it was not the kind of diversity that the agents wanted. I have seen people from different ethnicities being pushed aside because, that's not what's in right now. I'm sorry, I have seen it and I don't like it. If I wrote a work of fiction that was exclusively from the asexual perspective, because I included in all my fiction, there's a lot of ace characters floating around, but it's not the main focus. If it were the main focus instead of blind characters, I know that I would have to query in June or during a sexual awareness week, because it's a trend. It's a political thing. It's very strange to see this from the outside of the US. I'm not American and I'm not living in the United States, so it's very strange to see how everything becomes politicized. And it's even more strange for me to see people in those minorities following that as if it was like their only way to get published. It hurts. If there is one thing that I have a problem with, is being used to make other people look good. And as a disabled person, I have seen enough of that in my life, done to me and to other disabled people. To give you a concrete example of what I am talking about, I'm going to talk about a thing that happened to another person, and it was very much in the public eye, at least in that country, region. So there was a European singer that was taking part in some sort of contest, and to gain some traction and fan base and following, she decided to visit a girl with Down syndrome and spend some time with her. With a camera. You see, with a camera is the part that kind of disturbs me. If you want to spend time with a disabled person because you want to become a better person and do some good deeds because, you know, good karma and love and light and all that, fantastic and very much appreciated. Do you need a camera to document how good of a person you are? Oh, do you? Oh, I see. And it's not so much about being a good person, but looking good yourself. Similar thing happening with Sia and her new film coming out about some girl with non-verbal autism. Really? That's a whole fiasco that I'm gonna save for another day. Sia, you're just making it to look good. Not because your heart is in the right place. If you have to tell us that your heart is in the right place, you might look into it a little bit later, honey, because it's not. And we see you. Same thing is happening with literary agents. They are suddenly more eager to receive LGBTQIA works in June, or if there is some political movement or some tragic event surrounding someone from a different ethnicity, like the Black Lives Matter movement, suddenly they are opening the door to Black authors. I see you. And it's disgusting, because you should always keep the door open for Black authors, not just only when it makes you look good or when it becomes a quota. I'm wondering when is the Disability Awareness Month, because I have to query during that month, since it's available in their mindset that, oh yes, disabled authors. And, readers have the readathon for disability awareness, and now it matters because it's the Disability Awareness Month. Bullshit. It is disturbing. I did not come to this Own Voices movement to be used, but unfortunately that's what I see. So what do I do? Well, I don't know. It's something that exists, and it's something that will always exist, regardless of what kind of minority you are. We are all in it together, and I will support everyone from every single minority because we are all in the same boat. And those who have the power to get people published, they use us. It's all about virtue signaling, because people are insecure about their own kindness. They don't even know if their kindness is genuine, so they have to push it up, because they have to look good. They have to be a better person in the eyes of everybody else. Screw that shit. So to everyone who stumbles upon my platform and stays because they like what I do as an author, if you like my fiction, if you think I have potential to grow, because at the moment, of course, I am a new author and I have a lot to learn, but if you see the potential in me and you like what I'm doing and you enjoy my stories and what I'm trying to do with my career, if you're in to stay because you like what I do, I appreciate you immensely. You are never taken for granted. I hope that I can contribute something of value to your life as an artist and maybe as a friend. Thank you so much for being who you are, for being genuine, for being honest, and for not taking me as a tool to make yourself look good. Because I know when that happens, I see it, and I am tired of that crap. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening.